2021. My name is Josh Carter. I'm the partner manager here at Hatch. We're really excited to be a preferred SunPower vendor and excited to share with you guys some tips and tricks to help you guys set more appointments with the leads that you already have, especially as we head in towards the end of the summer into the fall and winter season. So I've got Blake Gailey over here from SunPower. Blake, hey man, thanks for hopping on.
Yep, you're welcome. I just turned off my video as it seemed to be lagging for some reason. Thanks for putting this together, Josh.
Yeah, you bet. And as we get started here, I want to make sure everybody's familiar with the platform. So on the right side of the screen, there's a chat section. Head into the chat section right now, everybody who's on. Let us know where you're joining us from today. And feel free to plug your company in as well. Next to the chat is the Q&A. In there, you can ask any questions that you might have for myself on any of the strategies that we're talking about today with respect to setting more appointments with your existing leads. And we'll address them during the webinar or after the webinar during the Q&A. Again, I'm really excited about this topic. I'm really passionate about this topic because, I work with a lot of solar companies that struggle with this, right? You spend a lot of money on leads and you find that, when you look at the list, you're like, how many appointments do we actually set from those? And oftentimes it's, really, really low with a lot of the companies that we've worked with. And today I want to give you guys some strategies. And obviously Hatch, we're a technology company. We help people set more appointments with their existing leads. But everything that I'm going to be sharing with you guys today is stuff that you guys can implement in your business as soon as you get off the webinar. And that's what I'm excited about. It's all about knowledge share here. So we'll get started in just a couple minutes here as more and more folks are jumping on. Welcome, everybody. Wow, Palm Desert, Napersville, Illinois, Solar Hut. Awesome. Thanks for hopping on, guys. We'll keep this to around 30 minutes, and we'll make sure we send this presentation afterwards as well so you guys can bring it to your business. Welcome, Bill from Electric City in Scranton, PA. Lane from Solar Fusion Group out of Santa Monica. Wow, we got a lot of folks from all over the U.S. I'm here in Richmond, Virginia. Got somebody from Hawaii. Good morning to you, Anna. And just since we had a few more people join since I did my first little spiel, the webinar is going to be about 30 minutes or so. Q&A panels on the right. We're also going to have a few poll questions throughout this webinar. I'm going to go ahead and kick off this poll question before we get started here. What is your current appointment set rate with the leads that you guys are getting in today? So I'm going to start this poll before we jump in, as you guys are just hopping into the platform, connecting to audio, all that good stuff. What are you guys doing in terms of a set rate? And by set rate, I mean, out of all the leads that are coming in, what percentage of them are turning into appointments? And that's going to help me kind of understand where the audience is so we can sort of fine tune some of the templates and messaging and maybe address some of the challenges with those of you that are struggling with this. All right, so it looks like a bulk of y'all are setting anywhere from 30% to 50% of the appointments of the leads that you guys are currently getting. So we can definitely help you bump up that number today with the right combination of speed, messaging, and just general organization in your business. Awesome. Thanks for participating, guys. All right, well, let's go ahead and kick things off. Blake, do you want to open things up and then we can get started? I think we might have lost Blake. All right, well, thanks everybody for hopping on here. Summer training, 3-step process to set 10% more appointments the second half of 2021. My name is Josh Carter. I work closely with SunPower dealers. We're a preferred vendor of SunPower. And I'm really excited to have the opportunity to knowledge share with you guys with respect to optimizing the appointment setting process with all your new leads. I appreciate that a a lot of you guys are spending a good chunk of change every month on buying leads from various sources, whether that be the solar reviews of the world, the modernizers of the world, Facebook advertising, wherever you guys are getting leads from. We constantly see the challenge of, yeah, we got these leads, but they're not converting to appointments. And so with the right combination of speed and good messaging practices, you guys can set more appointments. And I'm going to share with you guys some secrets or tips and tricks that we're finding work really well, especially for SunPower dealers. And I know a lot of you guys are SunPower dealers. So this is going to be, really applicable for y'all. And I know we have some solar companies that aren't SunPower dealers. This is all going to work regardless of, what products that you offer. Even folks that are not necessarily in solar that are on here. I see some home improvement companies. This will apply to you as well. Cool. So what brought us here? Why am I standing here today? I told you that there was challenges with setting appointments. There's a California solar company that we're working with that was setting 15% of their leads. So, and in fact, they measured it by lead to estimate, which I think is pretty interesting. So 15% of their leads were converting to estimates. So the appointment was run and then they were estimated. They were getting 160 paid leads per month, average cost of around $40 a lead, I believe. And of those, they were setting 30% and got 12 deals out of it because they have a 40% close rate. So a pretty decent close rate for solar, but their estimate rate was just abysmal. And so what did they do? They incorporated texting as part of their follow-up process, as well as email. And they also left voicemails with every single new lead. I know a lot of you guys are doing this today. You're following up with the lead. You want to make sure you get to them fast, and we'll talk through why you need to be getting to them fast. But the big piece here is that following up until you get a response. A lot of people give up after the first touch point, and I'll show you guys some data as to why you don't want to give up after the first touch point. So what were the results? Last month, they ended up estimating 33% more paid leads. So these are modernized leads. These are Facebook leads. I think they might also be buying leads from Home Advisor. And of those, because they were able to optimize this process, they were able to actually estimate 40 of those same paid leads, the same volume, by the way, 25%. And of that, obviously back into the math, you got 4 more deals. 4 more deals. I mean, you can back into how much your average job size is. That's pretty substantial. So today, my goal here is to kind of, I want to set the bar low, right? Let's help you guys improve by 10%. For these guys, they improved by 33%. And I think we could do more than 10%, but let's just start with 10%. I always like setting realistic goals that you guys can start measuring today. So let's jump right in. We're going to help you guys improve your speed to lead. I'm going to show you guys some best practices to do that. We're going to talk about how to actually incorporate texting in your follow-up. Texting is kind of a newer thing in the industry to do, and you got to do it right. It is kind of a fine line between being formal with texting and being conversational, like you're talking to a buddy. And so I'm going to talk through how to walk that fine line. The next piece is the frequency and when, what time of the day, all that good stuff. We've done some research on to what works best, and then of course some templates that are proven to work. We work with a lot of solar companies and have found that there's a few specific messaging strategies and templates that tend to work. So we're going to make sure we share that with you guys today. We're going to send out this deck after the webinar, and you can download this playbook that'll have a bunch of templates that you guys can just copy paste and start using in your business today. So really pumped. Just a quick commercial about who we are, why we're here. We're a messaging app that works with solar companies. And what we do is we put a lot of the manual outreach on autopilot for you. So the second a new lead comes in, we instantly text, email, and leave a voicemail with that lead. And we continue to follow up until you get a response. And the cool part about Hatch is it's all done for you. You can obviously customize the templates, but we've got templates that work. And all you have to do is just jump into the Hatch app when somebody responds. You get an alert on your phone that says, hey, Joe responded to the speed to lead campaign. Go in and set that appointment. You click into that, set the appointment. It's that easy. So we help on the front end there. We also help you guys on the sales, on the follow-up after you provide that estimate. We connect up to your CRM to, as soon as you mark that lead or disposition that lead as maybe estimated, not sold, whatever you use to mark that lead as not sold, we can instantly launch them in a campaign that says, hey, was looking at your quote, was looking at your estimate. any questions, any reason to not move forward. So that's where we help on the rehash, that follow-up side of the business, to help you guys get more out of the leads that you estimated as well. And the last piece is your database, right? So you've got leads sitting in your database. We can re-engage those dead leads using texting, emailing, voicemails, and it's really, really effective to kind of breathe life into those leads, get their mind thinking about solar again. And I'll talk through some ways that we can do that today. And we are fully DPF reimbursable. Just want to make sure everybody's aware of that for those of you who are SunPower dealers. So let's jump into the data. Okay, you are 7 times more likely to set an appointment if you respond to a lead in 1 hour versus 2 hours. There's a study of thousands of small businesses by Harvard Business Review. So it's all clear that speed is of the essence. But what's even crazier is you are actually 21 times more likely to close a deal if you respond to a new lead in less than 5 minutes. So this is all data from thousands of very small businesses that offer similar services as solar, home improvement, et cetera. And so speed is of the essence. If you can get to a lead within 5 minutes, you're more likely to beat your competitors to that lead. Because think about it, guys, if you're buying leads from any of the lead aggregators in the space, that lead is being sold to 1, 2, 3, 4, sometimes even 5 other contractors or solar companies. And so it's important to get to that lead faster than your competitor and set that appointment faster than your competitor. So that way you're more likely to close the deal, because data speaks for itself. Even leads that you get maybe through Facebook advertising, they could be, see your ad, for example, for solar. They click that ad, they go to your website, they fill it out, and then they're like, you know what? Let me look up some other solar companies in the area, and they'll go to another competitor of yours. So regardless of how the leads are coming in, it's important that you are following up with them as fast as possible. So how do you actually improve your speed to lead? What do you have to do here? The first piece is assignment. I think a lot of companies sort of put that burden on various people in the organization, whoever can kind of get to it. Maybe it's at the end of the day. I've seen that happen oftentimes, where they kind of just check the email and find all the leads and follow up with them, give them a call. Assign somebody specifically. This could be your office admin. This could be a specific sales manager. It could be your marketing person, just somebody that can deal with the follow-up. That's super important, because if you don't assign it, it's kind of like, oh, somebody will get to it. It's not going to get done. It might get done in like 3-4 hours, but it's not going to get done quickly. The next place is have templates and scripting in place in your business that your team can just paste in an email, copy paste in a text, or use as part of their call follow-up. So have those templates in place, enable your team to actually be able to, or yourself to be able to quickly follow up with these leads. And then the next piece is what I'm finding to be more and more common in our industry is whoever's setting that appointment, give them a little kickback, an incentive, right? So how much, your close rate, right? So let's just say your close rate's 30%. You can assign a dollar figure for every appointment, right? So I would say, take that dollar figure for appointment, and then maybe provide the appointment setter 3-4% of that when they set that appointment, right? It's pretty effective. So I got to encourage you guys, assign somebody. That's super critical. The next piece is have templates and scripting, and I've got some of them that I'm going to share with you today. And then the last piece, of course, is provide that incentive, for the appointment setter. Have them have skin in the game to set the appointment, because likely they're not going to be the sales rep that's actually going there getting the commission. So where should you incorporate this? I talked about the modernizers of the world, the website forms, the Facebooks. That's really effective, obviously, to setting the appointment, to have speed. The next piece is canvassing. This is something that a lot of folks have not really traditionally done. And I want to kind of shift the mindset here. So when you've got somebody canvassing a neighborhood, have them walk around with an iPad or maybe their iPhone or whatever, and have a web form be on that iPad when they get homeowner information. So that way, the second they click submit, you can then follow up with that text, email, voicemail, whatever, and put them in this structure, this cadence type structure, where day one, you send a text saying, hey, great to meet you. I would love to, share with more information about our solar programs, et cetera. And then maybe the next day you could send another text or another email. You can kind of nurture that lead. And so that way your canvassers are not just knocking on the doors, getting the lead information, and then following up the next day. It's done for them all automatically. So I encourage you guys to implement that for speed to lead, as well as the web form component for setting the appointment. I talked a lot about texting already today. I'm going to share a couple more data points on that. 69% of folks, homeowners, would prefer an unfamiliar company to contact them over text versus a phone call. I personally use a tool called RoboKiller. It's an app on my phone that screens calls from unknown numbers. And if you called me right now, it just wouldn't go through on my phone. It'd be filtered, and then you'd have to go through this mini questionnaire about why you're calling. And so calling is becoming less and less effective. The company that I talked about earlier, the California solar company, they were finding that their connect rates were around 5% over the phone when they were following up with new leads, versus over texting, 95% of those texts are actually open and read within 3 minutes. And so what we're finding in Hatch, in our platform, for new leads that come in, if you reach out to new leads over text, your response rate is going to be well over 70%. It could be somebody saying, hey, now's not a good time, but give me some more information. That's fine, but at least you're getting a response, right? And so I got to encourage you guys, please incorporate texting in your business. It's incredibly effective. And here at Hatch, we're happy to help you guys with that. We've got a lot of experience helping companies incorporate that new method of communication in their business. So what does that actually look like in the real world? Somebody fills out their information on a website like Modernize. All their information gets populated there. It's reasonably qualified. They click see my results. What you should be doing is, as soon as they match that lead to you, you need to instantly be reaching out. What does that look like? Boom. ABC Windows. Hi, Josh. It's Chris with ABC Windows. Do you have a minute to chat? Here at Hatch, we've got integrations with all the lead providers out in the space. If you're using Active Prospect, definitely recommend you use Active Prospect. If you're not, we connect up with those guys. So whatever you guys are using to funnel leads in, it could be any of these lead aggregators, Facebook, your web forms. We can instantly follow up with that lead as soon as they click submit. And that's an example of us doing just that with Modernize. So now let's dig into some templates. All right. So we talked about how to incorporate speed in your business. You give the appointment setter some skin in the game. You set them to a standard of how quickly they need to follow up with leads. Obviously, within 5 minutes is the gold standard, right? Now let's talk about what to actually say to these leads. So day one, we're going to instantly follow up with that lead, and that's designed to obviously set that appointment. Day two, follow up with some value. Day three, social proof. This is a good opportunity to maybe share an example of a project that you recently completed. Day four, we're going to skip this day. And then day five, what we call the breakup text. It's pretty effective to get homeowners to respond and maybe give you a time to follow up with them again. What we are finding here at Hatch is a majority of people that are paid leads specifically that respond to these campaign are responding after day three, not day one, not day two, but day three. So if you guys aren't following up more than once, you are missing out. So I encourage you guys, after this call, go into your database of leads, look at all the leads that you generated in the last 30 days, check to see how many times it got followed up on. Chances are it was only once, maybe twice, right? This is a good opportunity for you guys to re-engage with that lead again. And hopefully you guys can set some appointments, because I think it's really easy to kind of be like, oh, I don't want to seem annoying to this homeowner. I've already called them twice. Like try to text them. Try texting them too. You know, maybe you'll get in front of them and you'll get that appointment set. So again, what we call a multi-touch strategy, multi-channel strategy is really, really effective in our industry. I'm not going to read through all these templates. You guys can read them for yourself. But obviously, for web leads that are coming in, day one, send that text, send that email, get that appointment scheduled. A good thing to do is ask them a very pointed question. When is a good time for a quick call? Because you guys obviously have to qualify the lead before you go out. So when is a good time for a quick call? Ask that simple question. Instead of saying, do you have some time right now? Ask them a specific time, because that way you can kind of prepare yourself, review all the information about the lead that came in, and then you get on the phone, you've got everything that you need to help set that appointment. Day 2, follow up with some value, pique their interest. In this example, we say, want to follow up here. When is a good time for you to meet with one of our solar specialists? Very clear, to the point. The average homeowner in, say, Richmond is saving $938 per year in energy costs by making the switch. So I talk here about value points as your follow-up. The first, obviously, the lead showed intent to book an appointment with you or get more information. So let's go in for that appointment on day 1. What time is good for a quick call? Let's get that appointment set. If they don't respond, you need to nudge them a little bit with some value. And that's going to be, in this case, for this solar company, they found that their target buyer is very much focused on saving on energy. And so therefore they led with the average homeowner in Richmond is saving $838 per year in energy costs by making the switch. But that's going to be different for everybody. On this call today, I see everybody from all across the US, and I know for a fact that your customers are all different, right? There's what I found is like 4 main reasons. And if there's any more reasons, I mean, there are definitely many more reasons to switch to solar. Drop them in the chat, give people some inspiration. But what I found is that there's kind of 4 buckets here. So there's cost savings, there's energy independence, your home value is going to increase, and obviously it's good for the environment. What we're finding is there's a solar company I was working with up in New England, and they had a different follow-up strategy for people in zip codes that were out in the country, because they found that those are the folks that are more likely to become off the grid. So in this text back here, instead of saying the average homeowner in, I don't know, somewhere in Maine is saving, $10 a year, whatever, they're saying, the average homeowner in your county is fully independent or mostly off the grid, or some sort of a play on the energy independence. And so I'm curious for you guys, and this is going to help us as we walk through and you guys actually build these for your business. What's the number one reason that your customers make the switch to solar? Because I want you guys to take these templates that I'm giving you today and apply the value on that value point that I showed you on that last text message. I want you guys to apply that in your business based upon your target homeowners, the people you are going after. So why do people make the switch? I've seen people get super creative with this, where they have made sure that they polled every homeowner that they sold and asked them, hey, like, why did you make the switch? And then they catalog that data. And then when a new lead comes in neighborhood 1, they might pitch this versus, the increased home value versus the energy independence, or it's good for the environment. So it's interesting. Obviously the main one is cost savings, right? That's the reason why most people, it's the most highly advertised reason. But I encourage you guys to maybe dig in a little deeper next time you sell a homeowner. Ask them really, like, why did you make the switch? Oftentimes the answer might surprise you. Maybe people that want to just be off the grid, but may not express that to you initially, right? So thanks for participating. So cost savings. So this is good because the template that I showed you is directly applicable to cost savings. So thanks for participating in that poll, guys. The third is going to play right into that cost savings component, right? So social proof. Third text that comes in says, hey, came across this article and thought you might find it interesting. This family is saving, $200 per month with our approach. Send a link to a testimonial. Are you still interested in making the switch to solar? So again, day 1, let's set the appointment. If we can't set the appointment on day 1, day 2, we need to find some way to pique their interest, figure out what's going to make them, what is the reason why they originally wanted to reach out to you in the first place? Well, obviously they wanted to save money on energy. So let's follow up with that. Then the third, you need to provide social proof. And this is a good example. Most of you guys do have testimonials on your website or Google reviews that you can link them to. It doesn't matter. We can keep it that simple. You can go to your Google reviews. You can directly link somebody to a specific Google review that meets the kind of that homeowner criteria. Maybe it's somebody in the same neighborhood. Just figure out a way to kind of get them to respond and ask them, are you still interested in making the switch to solar? Day 5, our goal here is set the next meeting, right? And the best way to do that is with a breakup text. So haven't heard back from you, so I'll close your file for now. When should I follow back up with you? This text is super effective because you're telling the homeowner that you're going to close their file, okay? That is kind of jarring, honestly. And it's a really good sales tactic. So if you tell somebody they're going to close your file or ask them, should I close your file? They're more likely going to respond, and they're going to actually give you an objection as to why they haven't responded to you, right? It could be, oh, I've been really busy this week. Can you give me a call next Tuesday? That's what I typically find happens after the breakup text is the homeowner feels guilty and they say, oh, I'm so sorry. Like you've reached out to me so many times. I haven't gotten back to you. Like, let's have a conversation next month. Some crazy thing came up and I can't, have an appointment right now. And so this is a good example. Like the breakup text is really effective, but again, it requires process. You can't just follow up with the lead once. You got to follow up over a series of at least 5 days. And this is the 5-day campaign that I'm sharing with you guys here that a lot of Hatch customers are using, and it's super effective. It's done for them. So what do we do with leads that are dead sitting in our CRM? I talked about earlier that you guys are basically sitting on a gold mine, right? Whatever CRM you're using, you've got a bunch of leads just sitting there not being worked, right? Hopefully you do have some sort of a marketing strategy to send them a newsletter or something. But I encourage you guys to reach out to them over text. This is something that we found to be really effective. So if you got a dead lead, hey, Eric, Josh with Carter Solar here. I know you explored making the switch to solar, so I thought you'd find this article helpful. Send them an article about 2021 cost of solar panels in Virginia. Like whatever relevant article is that is related to why they would want to make the switch to solar. Send them some good, helpful content. Pique their interest. You can't just go in for the kill here, guys. You can't just go in and say, I saw you reached out to me last month when I have an appointment. Like, no, that's not going to work. You gotta warm up that lead a little bit. A great way to warm up that lead is send something like a cost guide or maybe a design guide. A lot of people love the look of solar panels. I personally do. I think they look freaking sweet. So maybe play on that. Send a picture or two. Get somebody excited. Help get them to start imagining what that would be like in their home from a cost-saving perspective as well as aesthetic perspective. But again, don't sell yet. Provide value on that first text. If you need some ideas around like what you guys should be writing about or what you guys should be searching for, I call it they ask you answer. So type in just general questions that people typically ask you. For example, how much do solar panels cost in Virginia? And then you'll see related things that people ask. So is it worth going solar? Does solar make sense? And write articles around this. So that way, if somebody's in Virginia and they search for this, it'll be your company that pops up first, right? That's our goal. We want to show up high on Google and we want to have good content that we can nurture dead leads with. So again, when you send an article like this, where it says, hey, I know you explored making the switch to solar. I thought you'd find this article helpful. Think about what people are looking for, right? You guys talk to homeowners every single day. Find their pain points, ask questions in Google that are related to their pain points. For example, cost, any barriers to entry, and then you'll see other things that people ask and then start writing content on that. The beauty of it is, and you see this all the time in other industries, especially, with lawyers and stuff like that, is they'll write some scary article about reckless driving in California. What does it mean for you? Right. So if you type in reckless driving California, that's the first thing that's going to show up. Right. In the same way, let's leverage the fact that not a ton of solar companies are doing this today. There's, maybe a few dozen that are actually actively blogging in the US. So I encourage you guys to start incorporating this in your strategy. It takes all of, an hour or so to write a blog post, but it can pay dividends, not just for showing up in Google, but also being able to send somebody a text with content that you own. It's really a great thing. If you've got a previous customer in your database, which obviously you do, I encourage you guys to consider offering free inspections of their solar system, and maybe they signed as part of the contract, they do have regular inspections. But try to get a rep out or somebody out, an install person out or a maintenance person out to check in on their systems to make sure they're running smoothly. And at that appointment, obviously you can upsell them. You guys have your different ways that you upsell. Maybe it's more storage, more panels, but it's also a good opportunity for you to ask for a referral. So this is the really cool thing that not a lot of people are doing, but the solar customers that we work with that are doing this are really, really, really effective at. So they send somebody out to do a quick, check on the systems, make sure everything's good. And it says, well, everything looks great. How's everything going? Are you happy with the purchase? Have the homeowner start talking to you about how much they love going solar, how much their neighbors think it's really cool. And then you can say, hey, we've got this referral program that, if you can help us get an appointment, help one of your neighbors, one of your friends, one of your family members make that switch to solar too, we'll give you guys, a $500 credit or $500 gift card, whatever. Provide some sort of incentive. This is a great opportunity to do that. You're in the home and you're already providing value because you're giving them that free inspection. It's a good way to not just get an upsell, but also ask for a referral. So I encourage you guys to do that as well. So I talked about following up. I encourage you guys to automate it. So this is a view of Hatch. This is our campaign builder. Day 1, send a text. Day 2, email, text, voicemail. This is all customizable for your business. Any of your conversation workflows, anything that you're doing manually, you can set on autopilot here. And all you have to do is just jump in when somebody responds. And so using a tool like Hatch, we can just do it for you. And again, all you have to do is jump in when somebody responds, set the appointment, close the deal. This is what it looks like. This is the Hatch inbox. Pretty straightforward, very easy to use. We got a mobile app as well. It's just very straightforward. Hey, this is Roger. Thanks for coming out. I can help you set an appointment for your project. Tell me what you're looking to get done. Sarah got a notification. She can then jump into the text. She can also email that person back if they emailed. She can call that person directly from Hatch. So it's really, really effective to managing all your communications, helping you guys set more appointments. So if you want to learn more about what we're doing here at Hatch, let me know in the poll here. And if you're interested in SunPower, if you're not a dealer right now, let us know as well. And Blake will make sure he gets you in touch with the right person over at SunPower. And I appreciate, guys, I went through things super fast today. I'm going to send this after the webinar to everybody. So look for an email from myself or somebody on my team. I want to make sure you guys have the templates to start implementing in your business. And while I have this poll up, if anybody has any questions, let us know in the chat. Okay, Carlos has a good question. What CRM integrations do you have natively? Good question, Carlos. We work with, pretty much all the major CRMs: HubSpot, Salesforce, Job Progress, Job Nimbus, Lead Perfection. If you go to our website, you can go under partners and integrations and see all the ones that we have. And we also have a Zap. So that way you can, if you got any tools that hook up to Zap, you can pass leads over to Zap there. Training. That's a good question. What kind of training does Hatch offer? If you come on board with us, we will have a dedicated customer success manager designed to help you set up your account, automate the workflows that you want to automate with respect to text, email, voicemail. And then what's cool is they'll sit with you every step of the way when your account is being onboarded to make sure the campaign language is exactly how you like it. We're really good at finding ways to get you more responses from homeowners, from new leads. And so we'll work with you on your campaigns to make sure they're optimized. Just like I did in this session very briefly, we can help you with those kind of language adjustments. In terms of other kind of general training that we offer, I encourage you guys to go check out usehatchapp.com, where we've got a whole section on our blog where we go through like best practices on handling leads, doing rehash, following up with quotes, all that stuff. We've got a lot of stuff there, as well as like general marketing things, like how to do Google My Business, how to run Facebook ads, all that stuff. We try to be as educational as possible. That's kind of where we've planted our flag as a business. Cool. So I hope this was helpful for y'all. Again, to summarize, get to leads in less than 5 minutes, assign ownership, figure out why your customers buy solar. Maybe you can even segment leads out according to, what type of homeowner they are. I know Active Prospect does a really good job at doing that with some of their filtering. And then you can append additional data and then target and use Hatch, for example, to send specific campaigns to different types of homeowners. We can get really creative here, but use templates that work. I encourage you guys to start using the templates that I sent you as part of your scripting for your emails, your text, and your calls. Pretty effective. So again, for those of you who did not, let me know in the poll if you want us to reach out and show you Hatch in action. Feel free to go to usehatchapp.com/SunPower and sign up for a demo there. Kelly had a good question. Yeah, Kelly, that's a really good question. So Kelly asked, what if the leads we receive just don't answer to text, emails, or calls? Or just dead leads as far as not interested? If you're asking, what do you do with just general dead leads? I encourage you guys to, if they've literally never responded ever, try to leverage their data for other purposes. And I say that not in a weird way, but there's this thing called lookalike audiences in Facebook. So if you guys are running Facebook ads, you can upload a list of all your leads and Facebook will actually help target. And you can send this to, if you have an agency doing this for you, and they can target similar type leads. So you can still kind of leverage the data, even if somebody's just never responded to you. So yeah, Kelly, no response ever. I would encourage you to still stay in touch over the next year or so, but only touch them maybe once every month or so with good, helpful content. Instead of just going in for the appointment, like I mentioned earlier, just try to send them something of help there. Integration with Zoho. Yes, we have an integration with Zoho. Not Google Calendar. Tarek, I'm happy to show you how it works. Yeah, Kelly, hope that was helpful. Do you help companies in different areas of best practices? If so, I'm out in Illinois, open to talking to others from out of state and share best SunPower, Hatch, and solar practices. Yes, Dave, let's connect after this call. Happy to walk you through what we do. Yeah, and guys, like we work with a ton of solar companies. We work with some of the bigger ones too, like the Momentums of the world, the ESA Solar. So we've seen what's been effective for the larger type companies, as well as the smaller 1, 2, 3 man shops. And I'm totally happy to share best practices and link you guys to anything that could be helpful for y'all. Yes, we can export conversations for analysis. Good question, Amanda. We also can show you what conversations led to an appointment being set or not being set, or a sale being made or not being made. It's pretty sweet. Cool. Awesome, guys. Well, yeah, thanks for those of y'all that stuck around. This was super helpful for me just to like learn about y'all and your challenges. I'm hope that everything that I shared with you guys today is going to help you increase that appointment set rate. But yeah, look for an email with the templates, and yeah, awesome, Gloria. Great techniques. I'm looking to incorporate these in my daily routine. Thank you. Yeah, of course, guys. Thanks for hopping on. You guys are awesome. I always love working with especially SunPower dealers. Y'all are just so fun to work with and so nice. And hope you guys have a great weekend. Happy Friday. Don't work too hard. Relax. Yeah. Keep everything rolling. Everybody take care. Bye.